Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Hermit Wang, and I'm a tour guide in the New York City. This is my first videotape about the flashing sculpture in English. I hope everybody just like it. Well, since a lot of people living in the flashing, and there are a lot of buildings we just passed by and we didn't notice. Just like this one, the post office in the main street and the Sanford Avenue. See the resident building behind it? Well, I'm going to just share the story about this building to you. For today, if we just look in the building just behind him, it just look like this post office doesn't have something strange. It's just like a post office. But when this building just be completed, it used to be most beautiful building in the New York City at that time. The building construction started in the year of the 1932 and completely in the year of the 1934. The agriculture of this post office building is the Dwight James Baum, and he is one of the excellent architecture in our country's history. Although today many people just walking past by, and you can see there's all different kind of the stands or something, and it's looking crowded. Eventually, the post office itself looking a little weird with its neighborhood buildings. It looks like it should not belong to here, but actually, this one already is done here since the 1934. And I think the most people's experience about it is very long line, crowd, noisy, unfriendly service inside, and you got a very bad experience about this building and people working in this building. So now we just forgot about all this unhappy thing. We just start at the very beginning of the story of this post office. It is not only a post office, but I think it is also a small museum to just indicate the development history of the flashing this community. Okay, and let's just back to the very beginning. Okay, now we are back to the year of the 1951, and now it's 2021. 60 years ago, we can see the flashing is really a completely different world to today. This is just the cross of the Roosevelt Avenue and the Main Street. Wow, there's so differences, right? Yeah, we still can see the St. George Church here, right? Yeah. And this is the end of the Main Street with the Northern Boulevard, and that's the Kids Rocky Old Theater. At that time, it's a very popular place to the young people to come there, watch the movie, and do the other kind of entertainment. But there's a lot of things changed till today. Okay, now we're back to the year of the 1934 when the post office was just finished. Yeah. The gentleman here is just the Dwight Baum, the architecture of this great building. We can notice at that time, we don't have any kind of the higher building just behind him. And the sky is so blue. The environment is very quiet, reliable, and the building itself looking very great, just like ancient, the Greek or the Roman temple. Mr.Baum used to study in the Syracuse University, and this is one of the hall in the Syracuse University. When the Mr.Baum started want to building this post office, and he also want to make it as an art craft to just thanks the education he received from his university. So he used the front door of his university's hall as the model to build this post office. So we can see almost exactly the same kind of the model in the construction. 6 columns here, and the triangle design at the front. Yes, this is one of the, and maybe that's the only work that the Mr.Baum just left in the flashing, because his most main architecture buildings are in the Florida. And this is one of my favorite museums. I have 3 favorite museums. The Metropolitan Museum in the Manhattan, the MoMA Museum just in the 5th Avenue, and this one. And this one is also this is the main entrance of the museum. And this one is also the work for the Mr. Dwight James Baum. And this museum is in the Florida. It's called the Ringling Museum. The full name is John and Mabel Ring Museum of the Arts. It's one of the greatest art museums. Just can be compared to the Metropolitan and the MoMA in our New York City. But we should thank to the Mr. Baum. He's still living a small, maybe you can say post office, you can say the museum in our Flushing. So I think everybody should feel proud. In our Flushing, we also have something we can show to the everyone. The great artist, the master, used to building some great constructions in this community. And the Flushing community is not only a resident place for nothing. Okay, now we're back to the story of the post office. We can see that year, in the 1934 or 1935, there's no such kind of the ugly, the resident building just behind it. The sky looking more white, looking more blue, the cloud looking the white, and we can see the trees, the environment just around it is just like a garden. There's no such kind of the supermarket, just so narrow, so pushed to its neighborhood. So once at a time, I think a lot of people, when you see this picture, I think you will love to live in this area, and because it's really the the atmosphere here is really peaceful and enjoyable. Not too much person just go inside and rush out. There's no people just sitting or just standing on the street and sell their merchandise. No yelling, and there's no public bus. The noise that their engines just making. This is really a great place for residents, right? But now everything changed. Nobody can stop it. Just like the light just in front of the door. The body of the light remained the same, but only the shape of the light just changed. While the paintings just in the ceiling and the mural are just made by the Vincent Aderente. He is another artist in our country. The whole building are 2 floors, and this is the 4th floor. Each painting, each photo just describe the development history of the different distraction in the Queens. Because in the Queens we only have a Flushing, we have a Little Neck, we have Oyster Bay, we have a Bayside, we have Amherst, we have Whitestone, and we have the other distractions, totally 12. Each of them is just describe its own history. This is not a series of painting to describe how the Flushing, the whole section, whole communities develop. It is just to give you a individual story about each distractions in the Queens community, and each of them is very unique and interesting. Okay, the poster I used as the background is made by this gentleman, Mr. Vincent Aderente, and this is his master, Mr. Aderente, another leading artist in the American painting history. Okay, I don't want to making my videotape so long so everybody maybe will feel tired. I just make it quickly. I provide 2 painting as the example. Each painting just have a name just at the end of the picture, and to display which section this paintings describe. Like this one is said Douglaston. Yes, and this one is only just describe the Douglaston's background. We see here is a gentleman just well dressed, riding his horse, maybe just fading to the north. And his background here is a little white church just behind him. This gentleman is the George Douglaston III. His family is the owner of the Little Neck, Douglaston, and the other place today in our community. The white church just at the background is not, is not the art decoration. It is really just the exit in the world. If today you are driving your car from the Northern Boulevard to the Long Island, when you're just passing the bridge of the Douglaston, you will be noticed there is a white ZN church just at your right. And this church is the one to describe in this building. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of our most history church, just the same as the St. George Church, just at the main street. This one is also have its history. Someday I will just introduce this one to you. Look at this one. Here is a gentleman here, and there's two young ladies just with him. And what's this one? Just introduce. This one relate to one of our place. Many people today they living here. That's the College Point. But the question here is College Point. So where the college it is, and where is the point? Many people ask this question. The College Point, but it seems there's no college in that place. Yes, the gentleman here, his name is called August Muhlenberger. He is one of the most Catherine leader and the educationer in the Flushing history. He used to build one school called St. Paul's College, just in the place where the College Point is located. But due to the financial difficulty, his college cannot send the diploma to its students who will be going to graduate from the school. So finally, his school be stopped in the year of the 1846, but Mr. Muhlenberg just provided advantage education in the Flushing area. Many people just talking about the College Point today. They are just remember, they say, oh, College Point remain to the Queen's College. Of course, sorry, there's the wrong answer. There's no Queen's College in the Muhlenberger's the time. And the college we just mentioned means the St. Paul's College, that is leading and founding by the Mr. August Muhlenberg. He's just talking to two young ladies here, want to purchasing this land and just as a ground of the school. And this is the story referred to the College Point. Well, this is all my today's introduction about the post office in the Flushing Main Street. And this is the first time I just do the introductions in the English. And I hope everybody just, if you like my videotape, please just following concern me, and I will making more and more about the topic related to the sightseeing in the Flushing, and something maybe we just passing by every day, day by day, and we didn't just notice. It used to be one of the famous building or most beautiful one in our country's history. By the end, I'm very appreciate everybody to watch this videotape, and thank you, and have a very nice evening. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye. See you next time.